The recording's in progress.
Recording is in progress.
This is pretty exciting. No, don't touch the screen, Dan. No, don't. No, don't
There,
touch this. No,
there are buttons.
that's going to be, no, that's going to
All
look
right.
so bad on YouTube and it might get us kicked off.
Yeah, it's a
What's
little
what's
lewd.
YouTube again?
It's a series of tubes,
It's like
apparently.
Zoom, but it's YouTube.
It's like Zoom. So I guess I should introduce. I'm with Dan Sarka and Shawn Wolfe of Shemps and Shecky's fame, which means nothing to anyone except the three of us. And just as a preface, we met online, and but you guys didn't. You guys knew each other a lot longer than I knew yous.
We went through the postal service
Yeah,
originally.
U.S. Mail.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Pony Express kind of thing, or
Kind
I
of how it
sent
worked.
I sent away to get one of those Vandalias plastic car badges that was advertised on the CD on their first album, if memory serves.
yeah.
That was my first reaching out. Yeah, and I think I probably sent some gear with it that got Dan's attention. I don't remember.
Wait, no. How did you
It
in
did.
real life?
Well, that was the first contact. He had this album out and with this plastic car badge and the band's logo. Yeah, the whole concept was exciting to me at the time. The band was great. The cartoon concept of the band. Yeah. But I didn't know
Like,
anything about it at that point. It was just something I saw or heard on the listening station at Tower Records here in Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, is that where you heard it?
Yep, that was the first time I saw it or heard it. It was
what
on
band are
that
we
station.
talking about?
Well,
That
that's
would be the Vandalias.
the Vandalias, yes.
Tell us about the Vandalias. I've got the albums. It's a thing.
Well, I like hearing the way Sean uh, crafts the narrative here. I think
Well, and I repeat your go-to-ism about it would be like if the I forget exactly, but if the members of the Monkees pitched that show themselves, that it wasn't Don Kirshner like a top-down thing, but four guys that wanted to have a band, but they wanted it to be the concept of the Monkees and the fiction of it and all of it that we grew up with. Nobody in their right mind would have done that back in '66 or whenever that was, but by the late '90s, it seemed super clever and exciting. That it was obviously
well,
your
yeah, and that was
creation. It wasn't some creation somebody hired you to portray or make music for. It was yours. Yeah.
right, like a well, this was 92, 91, 92 when I kind of dreamed this thing up and it was literally pre-internet.
Yeah.
Or just at the very beginning, it wasn't a factor, and
That's before AOL even. So yeah.
before AO, yeah,
Damn,
I did not,
that's a long time.
and it was, what if the Archies was what if Husker Du were behind the Archies
Right.
kind of thing, yeah,
Right.
which in the early '90s was no one was doing that kind of stuff.
And Husker Du was also cartoonists and created
Yeah,
comics. Yeah.
yeah,
They made music, but they also made comics at the same time. Yeah.
yeah,
Was
yeah,
it? But
and
you were like a professional. You were a musician before that. Were you? You were professional, Don? Dan? Don?
yeah.
Dan?
How are we
Don.
going to do this?
Well, just yeah.
Are
I
we going to
mean,
be
Dan is often Don because that's more comfortable for our mouth shapes, I suppose. And Shawn, SHAWN, is
Right.
Shawn, SHON. As we
There's a lot of Sean spellings.
There's
Yeah.
too many Shawns, so yeah,
Yeah.
we just kind of separated Shawn
Right.
from all the other Shawns, and we started
Yeah.
spelling it SHON. And yeah, we've been texting each other on Facebook and then later on in other ways for like, I don't know, 10, 15 years or something.
Yeah.
it's it. I've been hanging out with you guys on that chat for at least 10 now,
Yeah.
At
right?
least 10.
It's
I
wild.
I was
And
I was I was I was called into to what do they say? Skew the demographic uh, prettier after after you guys lost a shimp from the conversation,
Oh,
and Sean had been bugging me to join this particular chat for a couple 3 years
Uh-huh.
is that true?
before I
Yeah.
and we of course Stephen, I'd been calling you names on Facebook for a little while before that.
Well, I thought it was all with affection, for sure.
Most of it was.
Most of it. Yeah, I didn't say all of it, but I said most of it for sure.
Yeah, no, you were the original Eastern ethnic, I think, in my
Oh,
in
I
my
like that. I
my
like
worldview.
that's a real distinction. I like hearing that. Well,
Nice and swarthy. Yeah,
my
Yeah,
first awareness of Don Dan was something about Kokomo.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get too far away from. I know we want to talk about the Vandalias and that, but just as context.
That
Uh,
was a lightning in the bottle Facebook group of guilty pleasure music that was not guilty. We were constantly arguing about there's no such thing as a guilty pleasure, but it was endless and attracted quite a few opinions
Hmm.
and
yeah,
opinionators. And it was
and
funny.
and
Things
you
like that.
defended
For a
you
brief
de
time, it kind of blew up and then imploded pretty quickly. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like 2,000 comments later, it imploded pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was like one post was the group was about that one post. There was a lot of other posts,
Yeah,
but there was that one that never died. It was odd. It was like a message board or something more than a
Yeah,
social media group. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a thousand legger. It had a lot of legs. It just kind of kept crawling and crawling
Yeah.
along. I don't know. That probably went for like 2 or 3 years
That
at
was
least.
Guilty Pleasure was the group, and then Kokomo was the song that stuck that got everybody's hackles up and Dan waged a strong defense of Kokomo as being that there's pleasure in that song, that there were reasons for, there was a
it's
rationale behind it, and yeah,
Right.
it's a wonderful tune.
it was a treasure hiding in plain sight,
Yeah, yeah.
with stink lines coming off of it. Yeah.
See, but I think part of the problem there was I was up against a lot of people who were watching MTV vidges when that record came out.
Right.
And I saw the video once,
I
and
don't think I ever had seen it. Yeah.
okay, but
I
you had
might have
I never
seen
saw
it.
the film that it came from either.
It's
So
from
was
a
it
it
was
in
kind of
film.
like an obscure track for me completely.
What
but
movie is it from?
I
Cocktail, I
heard it
think.
on the radio,
Oh,
and it had a cool melody and a cool harmonies, and if you just okay now if you take the image of Mike Love
Yeah.
and his hat
Yeah.
out of the experience,
You're right.
and if you don't see John Phillips, what was he standing on a balcony or
Is
some
he? He's in the
industrial
video?
walkway playing his saxophone solo, and it was terrible, but
Yeah.
I didn't have
maybe
that
you
problem.
dreamed all this, Dan. I don't know. I don't. That
I
doesn't.
may have.
Yeah,
I may have.
That doesn't
But
sound.
John Stamos was in it because was he in the band or the film or both? Or he wasn't for Cocktail? Wasn't that the movie, the song?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
It
And
was
John
Yeah.
successful
Stamos.
because it was in this hit Tom Cruise movie, right?
Yeah, but I don't think
Oh,
John Stamos was in that movie. But he was in the band at that
Right,
point.
because he was on the show, the TV show, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that was the thing that endeared us
Yeah.
to each other. And then I made a pilgrimage. Then I went to Seattle to meet Sean in person just to see if what that was like. And that was fun. And Sean came here to New York once or twice, which
Right.
was pretty fun. And
And
then
we're
I
down the block.
realized
We're
like
down the block from Fantagraphics out here. I know it was a Fantagraphics pilgrimage too.
right, yeah. And that was cool because I got to meet your pooches back then. And your beautiful dog Dee Dee kept thinking there was a present for her in my luggage, uh, which sadly there was not. But
No.
That was a mistake on my part. And then years after that, I thought I should make a pilgrim. Well, I'd never been to Minneapolis. I just thought I should go. I just thought it would be really, really cool. I mean, I got to tell you guys, the Midwest is really exotic to me. It's amazing.
Right. I appreciate that. You're right. You're right, and I appreciate that fact more and more as life and time go by than I did when I grew up there. But yeah,
Yeah.
You really consider Minneapolis Midwest then? Not not.
it's the northern Midwest or whatever they call it, right?
Why, what
It's
is it?
Oh, I'm sitting here thinking, does it get any more Midwest than Minneapolis?
It's
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 it's it's a pretty good sample of Midwest if you're gonna if yeah.
it's the most Midwest I've ever been. Yeah.
Well, you had been to Cleveland at that point too, hadn't
I
you?
had been to Cleveland.
Or am I
I've been
confusing you with a character on 30 Rock?
No, people often do that, but and not this time. I had been to Cleveland. I've been to Ohio quite a lot. I don't know
you've
what
been to
that's
old
about.
Columbus, and you made a. I don't remember why you were in Columbus, but you were there for something.
I'd been gone to Columbus a lot. The first time I went to Columbus was because I visited with my friend Craig, who lived in the Cincinnati area, and he's like, We should go to this place in Columbus." Well, what kind of a drive is that, Sean? Do you know?
From where?
From Cincinnati to Columbus.
Oh yeah, like 90 minutes, less than 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah, and he said there's this place we have to go to called the Kahiki Room.
Yep. Did
And
you go?
that was my first time in
You
Columbus.
did go to the Kahiki?
I did go to the
Oh, good for
Kahiki.
you, because yeah, it's long gone. There's no
Yeah,
trace
yeah,
of it
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and now the Billy Ireland Library, housing all this cartoon stuff is there. So I've been there a couple times, but I like to go. I mean, like I said, someday I want to go to St. Louis, someday I want to go to Kansas City, all these places. They seem really, really exotic to me.
Des
Yeah.
Moines.
Des
Des Moines.
Moines, sure. Sure. Yeah. You guys might have to come with me. I don't know if I'll feel safe in Des Moines, honestly.
You know what we'll do? We'll all one of these days ideally before any of us are dead, we'll
Yeah.
all go up to the UP
Okay.
and you want Midwest and you think you're frightened landing at Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. You think that's exotic? We'll bring you up to we'll bring you out to camp up in the lake in the middle of the Hiawatha National Forest, and you can crap in an outhouse for a few days,
All right.
and we'll you know it'll be scared straight basically.
No, no, no. I was telling someone recently, like the nicest airport experience I ever had was in Minneapolis. It's a really pretty kind of airport there.
It is. It is
And I had a really great meal there, which,
really. Where'd you?
yeah. I don't know. There was like this fancy little airport restaurant that I ate to when you guys dropped me off and I was flying out, something like that. Yeah.
My best restaurant story, Minneapolis St. Paul
Yeah.
International Airport restaurant story. We get there, 4 hours early. We get through security in like 15 minutes. It's one of those deals where you hit the flow and you're in the door. So we got
Right.
3 hours to kill at the airport. So grab lunch at one of those restaurants off the hall there, and it's one that's big enough. It's got windows along the corridor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my wife and I are sitting at a booth next to the window, and we're enjoying our meal. And uh, the former governor of Minnesota, and our then, I believe he was our junior senator. Uh, oh shit! I knew I was going to forget the guy's name. Son of a gun. Okay, we'll edit this part out.
No, I don't edit
Uh,
anything, but I'm with
we're
you.
not editing anything. Is this
Nothing's
all? This
edited.
is
It's
all going
all,
straight. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What the hell was our Sean? What the hell was our senator's name here in the nine?
Wellstone?
Not Wellstone. No,
Wellstone?
no, no. The guy,
Oh,
the guy who actually beat Walter Mondale after Wellstone passed. Um, Remember, Wellstone died a couple 3 months before the election. Walter Mondale took his place.
all right.
Um, as a act of service, and of course he
Okay.
got his ass handed to him. Um, Norm Coleman.
Okay.
At one
Oh,
point, he was presidential talk. Norm Coleman had been governor for a while, and then he was our senator for a while. Anyway, we're sitting in this booth enjoying our hamburgers, and Norm Coleman is in the restaurant. He gets up and he leaves, and he waves goodbye to the servers, and he walks out in the corridor of the airport, and he walks to the glass of the window onto the corridor. And right on the other side of that glass, Carolyn and I are sitting in our booth eating our hamburgers. And Norm digs a toothpick out of his pocket and goes up to his reflection in
Ew.
the glass and starts pulling, freaking pulled pork out of his teeth, looking
Nice.
right at us.
Could he count on your vote?
yeah. I was gonna say I'd vote for him just based on that.
Well,
That's
that and then once he did that, he pulled out a cigar and lit that up.
nice.
Yeah. No. I take it back. That's a different story. That's a lie. That was a dirty, rotten lie I just told you about the cigar.
Okay.
But the food thing was real. And no, he didn't. No, he didn't win my vote.
I was gonna say once you got to the cigar, it seemed really far-fetched. It just didn't seem like that was realistic
Yeah, no. Well,
to my thinking.
I
It's plot
I might
twist.
believe it anyway. I might just decide to believe it anyway. Because no, you can't smoke a cigar in a damn airport.
You can't smoke a cigar in an airport. No, no.
That's
I've
just the kind of
fantasized about it.
monster Norm Coleman was. he
Well,
smoked cigars in airports.
if he was a big shot, that could happen.
You
That
know,
happens all the time.
he had been mayor of St. Paul, so if that's a big shot, yeah.
I mean, I thought both Minneapolis and St. Paul were beautiful cities, and Dan was kind enough to take me on the Sparky tour, the Charles Schultz
That's right.
pilgrimages.
Yeah, that was my pilgrimage too. I hadn't been over there.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty neat.
Oh, hang on.
Whoa, I just had a blackout.
What
Oh,
happened?
we lost Dan.
I lost. Yeah, there. Oh, no, there you are.
Here I am. Here we are. So Sean, tell us more about the Vandalias.
Well, we proceeded to correspond, and there was an article that I was doing some design work for Ray Gun magazine, and I don't know if I did stuff for Plasm, but what was the other one? Speak. I think it was called. No, wait. We did an article about the Vandalia. It's like a one-page thing where I did a reinterpretation of the cartoon characters for a music magazine, for a national music magazine. So now it was like the original cartoon characters that Dan had as part of the first album. This article where they were kind of reinterpreted a little bit, and then in the process of that, I learned that he had like a whole comic book done of the Vandalias by yet another artist. So there were three. Now suddenly, there were three kind of portrayals of the Vandalias out in the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was
I
like
didn't know.
the
I
first
didn't know
thing
there
we
was a
kind of did
comic.
together, which was that interview and that piece for Speak. And
Okay. I didn't know there was a comic book. There's a comic book.
yeah,
Yeah.
Greg Reinell, right?
How
Hmm.
is? I never got one. Who drew that, Dan?
That was Greg. That was Greg Reinell. Guy goes by Stainboy, poster artist and musician.
Still going great guns from what I can tell. He's
Yeah. No,
constantly busy. Yeah.
he's the authentic. He's the authentic deal. That one. And Greg was a sport for taking on that project.
Why?
Well, I was gonna draw the whole book, but I'm slow. I don't have it's not my bag. I've done like panel cartoons and stuff prior to that, but I've never drawn a book. Um,
How long is it?
it's whatever, 24 pages or
Holy
18.
shit.
It's a
Jesus.
yeah, it's a full length story. Um,
And
But
you
but
wrote
without
you
it?
know,
show.
it was
Oh,
we published book one of three planned, so we just had the one third of a series that actually made it out into the world.
Oh
could you
shit.
describe without showing them? I think you could easily the three approaches to the characters. Like there was the little orphan Annie eyes of the first generation,
Yeah,
kind of, and Greg's was kind of a manga thing a little bit, but also kind of a keen painting, maybe, but in
yeah,
a rough kind of
Right.
scritchy, scrawly punk rock way,
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the things we did for that Speak Magazine thing, those were kind of straight up Japanimation kind of takes on the characters. And then the second CD had more of that Japan in it. And yeah, those were like three directions. And they didn't, I mean, they were the same three characters, but
Yeah.
already being interpreted by three different artists. It was fun.
Right,
And
and right out the gate before anyone knows. I mean, that was the fun of it for me. Is like, let's just drop Batman into the world, fully formed as a guy who's been in the Frank Miller comics and in the the Bill Finger comics and the 66 show, but all the iterations of Batman.
yeah, the
Just drop
gestalt
that
of
in the
Batman, it all exists as one if at some point, and you
yeah.
present this as the same thing from the get-go. Yeah.
Right. You've never met these people, but the Lego movie about these characters is coming out next fall, kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
Um, yeah,
But you were an indie band that people were still learning about, so they're kind of so most people were probably encountering it for the first time,
right,
possibly in these different competing ways.
right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
how did you have music in a comic book? That's always a thing. That
you had to shake it. If you shook it just right,
I see. I see.
yeah, it
I
crazy.
hope there were instructions that came with the book in that case. No, I want to see this now. I can't believe I don't know this. Maybe I know it and I'm just old and I can't
Yeah, no,
remember.
you
Why
no,
don't
you're an
we?
idiot.
I
We
want to
talked
do.
about this.
Okay, let's do issue two. I want to work on issue two.
Okay, all right.
All
Right
right.
when Lucky with Love is done, Lucky
It's
in Love.
almost it's almost done.
Yeah, sure it is.
No, seriously. It's been almost done for like 10 years.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
it's
Yeah.
just I have to draw it now. No, no, no. It's yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, I'll get it done.
Okay.
And then I'll start
Well,
on the
I hope you do.
Vandalias.
I hope you. I'd love that freaking story, man. I really want to. I want to see the next part of that story.
I'll once we're done here, I'll tell it to you. It'll be
I
just
don't
as
want to
good.
hear it. I want to see it. I want to
There'll be
experience
hand
it.
puppets, all kinds of things. Wait, the original Vandalias, did you design them, Dan?
I drew them. Yeah, I came up with those designs um and they're very basic, almost noodly armed. Um, like Sean said, little orphan Annie eyes,
Little Orphan
people
Annie.
this
Yeah, yeah,
size.
yeah. No, I'll find photos. I'll find pics and I'll link it
Okay.
with them so everybody can see the evolution. And then when you connected with Sean, like take it from there. Like
Hmm. Well, Sean, I got a postcard from Sean. I wanted to join the fan club. We had a whole fan club um, uh, apparatus in place there, with swag and Christ, what did we sent you a certificate of participation, kind of.
wow.
Uh, you're a member of the fan club, the pit crew. We call it the pit crew
Right. There
because
were
we were into the
stickers. There was probably a ballpoint pen or something like I don't remember. Yeah, there was an assortment of stuff.
yeah. The lanyard with the card with the pass, the pit crew pass. But so I sent him his stuff and uh, the card that Sean sent was one of his own, and the art on it I thought was freaking fantastic, and especially there's some little character, some little almost floaty robot helmeted, vaguely Japanese looking character, which when I saw that, I said, that's what I want. That's the guy who needs to draw this band for me.
Wait, Sean, you came up with a new character for Dan?
No, he's just referring to that remover installer
Oh, 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 oh,
campaign
oh.
and that object. But yeah, no, I around that time you must have been finishing your second album because we started working on that pretty quick. The
Right, right.
design for the package for that. And it wasn't
Yeah.
like a fourth reinterpretation, but it was kind of a refinement of what we did in the magazine
Right,
into more cohesive like characters and
right,
And at
right.
some point, you both decided like you got to pitch this as a series, as a cartoon, as an animated cartoon.
Series or I think we were agnostic whether it was a series or a movie or a cereal box, DVD.
Right. Action figures, a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
yeah,
at some point we had like an inch thick pitch Bible with the unit with the world building and all the rogues gallery of all the other bands, friends and foes, and the manager and the agent and the whole and a spec script. It was kind of absurdly overdeveloped by the time we showed it to folks. That's
Okay.
what we were told. Like most people have, yeah, would have stopped halfway down that road, and then but we were,
That's weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
I
that
don't know. That's how we were kind of made to feel at some point, like you didn't need to go to all that bother voice. But
this
maybe
is a
maybe that was
story.
someone's opinion, but I that's they usually want to see like how far it'll go, really. This
right.
that I know. So I
But
mean,
it wound up with an agent who knew had and got it to some studios, and it did make it around. And what I don't know what year it was. It was '99, I think, something like that, which was a time where there had been a lot of TV animation, and it was kind of like the long tail or the short tail at the end of it of that late
But we
'90s TV animation
yeah,
period.
yeah, and but we were also, interestingly, we were also uh the feeding frenzy for indie bands had um effectively collapsed by that point. Whereas, a few years earlier, everybody was getting
It's the
signed.
gold
Everybody
rush.
was,
Yeah, there was a gold rush in
yeah.
both.
why what took over at that point in music?
Uh, um, I think I'm trying to remember what the circumstances were. This was before streaming, so it wasn't
Right.
streaming. I think the the labels just overextended themselves,
Oh,
developing too many bands, and
right.
and uh, and uh, uh, getting to the late '90s, and they didn't want the latest grunge band anymore. So, but we had kind of course, we had been courting labels and sending our stuff out before the comic book, and before we decided we were going to try to sell a television show. But 98, 99, my feeling was we had better odds getting on TV with a cartoon than getting into the record stores with an album put out by the Sony or uh, uh, who else? What was a Dream?
Verve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My memory for names is vanishing rapidly. DreamWorks.
Well, we went to DreamWorks. Yeah.
Yeah, we went. We had a nice time doing the thing.
No,
Did
we had
just go
there was great reactions to whoever saw it that we got directly from them or secondhand. But
Yeah,
yeah, but
so
Melinda
you
that we had given it to, she was like, "This could just be a live action." Like it was like, "What about a live action version of your cartoon concept?" And it was sort of like, "I guess so, yeah, but that's not what it is." But that was going to be easier and cheaper to make
yeah,
and sell, easier to sell than a
yeah.
cartoon at that point, I guess,
yeah.
because of the saturation of cartoons or something. But They are
Yeah.
expensive to make compared to a live action.
They
Just-
are.
Of course, if we'd waited 10 years, we could have been doing it all ourselves. Probably, you know.
Right.
Man,
The things
I'm
we were
telling
talking
you.
about and wondering about then are on desktop situations now. So, you know,
You
Yeah,
could do
yeah.
it. You could do it now. You could do it.
Right.
Yep.
We could easily do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, in many ways, besides it's, you know, obvious. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Besides the obvious challenges of selling a new project, unknown creators, uh, and I forgot where I was going to go with that.
But just had an
versus
agent.
live action. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sean had found an agent in Melinda, which is
Jason.
Melinda Jason. That's right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And she had had some success selling a couple of movies primarily. But you know, when she said live action, well, at the time I'm sure I said, "Oh, she doesn't get this." You know, she's just not getting the premise here. But you know, the fact is, I probably would have gone for that.
Oh yeah, why not? It
Yeah,
could have been great. Yeah, it'd been just as great. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It would have been
And then,
another iteration of the thing. Yeah.
and yeah, yet another. I mean, and again, it's, you know, the Batman, the Lego Batman, besides the Frank Miller Batman,
Right.
besides
Right.
Teen Titans, Batmite.
That.
You know,
Right.
there's just so much, and of course, this all came out of a personal interest in mine to to stop playing live. I wanted to stop selling myself as the front of a live band.
Right.
Right.
I was getting up around 30, and honestly, it's I've always felt strongly that rock and roll is music for teenage kids. You know, it should stay there. It really should stay there.
Right.
And you know, my hair started thinning. You know, it was the '90s, hair down to my ass, but it was, you know, starting to thin out on top. And
Oh, that was all of us. We all started thinning at around
yeah, we did.
around 90, 99.
We did, but I wasn't buying it. You know, there was a bald guy in Free, and that was it. No more bald guys
Oh yeah, no, not in rock and roll. In
in rock and
cartooning,
roll.
in cartooning, it's a rite of passage. You go bald at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
point.
Yeah, because
That's how you know you made it.
your
When
hair all falls forward out
when
the
you're yeah, when you're combing it, like
while
doing a comb
you're
over.
leaning over a drawing board.
Right.
But I didn't want to worry about um, pants fitting and, you know, money on my hair. I was done with that. You know, and I was settling down a little bit with family, and I thought, you know, I'll just draw me, and I'll send the cartoon out to do the thing. You know, and that's
Man,
kind of
that's fucking genius.
it's. And remember, this is when, you know, Michael Jackson was still alive, and that was becoming more and more just nauseating,
Problematic. Yeah.
bad, and, you know,
He was
it's so
cartoon-like.
and he was a cartoon. He turned himself into a cartoon,
Yeah. Yeah.
literally, you know, visually. Um, and I thought, I don't want to be that. Let's just be cartoons.
Did you have model sheets and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit. Where is all
And
this
like
stuff?
bio, the background of the band, like each band, some of the bands had great concepts too. They were all, it was like this little world of the premise was it was a little bit in the future, and now every teenager is in a band, so there's millions of bands, and it's like a band economy or whatever the world runs on. It's a band based culture, so but they're all cartoon bands, and they're all constantly touring, and they're running into each other on the road at the pump and dump that is this sort of truck stop diner air that they're all over the world, but they're always running into each other at the same one in a different town kind of thing. So yeah, it
And
was a little bit.
there's robot bands.
There's robot
Wow.
bands. There's like Cro-Magnon, like ape man bands.
Mhm.
There was a full there was a punk band. What were they had like nine or ten members. So it was like Earth, Wind and Fire, but
Like
they were like the
like
Ramones. But if the Ramones had as many guys as the it was Earth, Wind and Fire.
yeah, that was the Gang of Nine, and I think there were
Hang
seven
of
guys.
Nine, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck. Now I want to see that.
It's a very bit on the nose, but yeah,
yeah. No, it was a loving regurgitation of
right,
the previous 30 years of just absolute uh, uh, love for cartoons and rock and roll
yeah,
and clothes and science fiction and the whole, just the whole our entire lives as consumers of pop, uh,
Yeah.
all squeezed down into that little expression.
yeah.
Yeah. But
But
But this show, it was definitely a nod to those Hanna-Barbera things where it's the Partridge Family in outer space and Josie and
right,
the Pussycats in outer space and
right,
everybody's in outer space. It's like
right.
such a cheap concept at that point. But then, as Dan's cosmology of the Vandalias, there was the real version, or the realist version that he describes in the pitch that's built on it. Like Jim, the main character, has his own imagination of his ideal Vandalias existence, and then there's a cartoon version of that exists in that one. Like so, it's like this inceptionized layering of the
they're
band. Like
real.
they're real guys in the concept of the band, but then they're also portrayals of themselves on top
and
of
and
that.
the albums and the swag and the lanyards and the little uh, chrome plastic car a car
Right.
dealership plate.
Dealership tag
Yeah, it
stick
was all,
on.
you described them as artifacts that crossed into our world,
Yes.
but they
They got left behind when
yeah,
when
right,
the portal
exactly.
closed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was, yeah, it took me a little while
it
to
was it was
let,
heady.
yeah, it got very heady, and it was heady before we met, and then you started proposing all these you know art student science fiction reader ideas, and we've talked about this many times, but it took me a while. I pushed back a lot
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
How did you
because,
guys work together? You were in two different coasts. I mean, well, I mean, not coasts, but two different areas of the country. Like, how
oh,
did,
email. We took advantage of the email, man.
okay,
Yeah.
You know,
okay, got it.
um, oh shit, we used to sit and chat over email
Yeah.
while we were working on this stuff. We'd listen to uh, those um,
Oh yeah.
air check audio that would,
Yeah. What was that website? Radio something?
yeah, listening to the real Don Steele and all those DJs from the '60s and '70s, and for inspiration, and sit and comment on that. You know, hit play at the same time, sit and
Holy
comment
shit.
on ads, for the Altamont Raceway and all that. You know,
So
um,
I mean, I hate to bring this concept up, but how did did Facebook speed things up? Like in your relationship, not necessarily the Vandalias.
in our relationship,
Yeah.
uh, no, it just made it easier.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, of course it broadened. He started pestering me to hang out with you, and you know,
Yeah, I haven't forgiven Sean for that
yeah,
yet, but
no, it was rough. It was rocky for a while. I remember the fights. It was,
There's been a lot of coming and going off of social media for people, and I always encourage it. It's healthy, I think, to
yeah, that too.
leave,
yeah.
and then people come back, and that's I always say it's too bad, but like the win is when leaving, and then coming back is admitting like, well, life exists here. This is where everybody is. This is where their ears are, and
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We were all I mean, I before the Kokomo thing, I became aware of Probably you too, Sean. I mean, I met you through our online. I met you through our mutual friend Jeff Schultz, but
Right. Right.
became more aware of each other in a Facebook group called Nerdcore,
Right.
which none of us are aware what's going on there anymore, or if it even exists.
It's a
But we
going
were,
concern. Yeah.
yeah, we were all pretty into dishing on whether Green Lantern's gloves should be white or not. Um, for a long
Right.
time, and then we'd get into
Yes.
weird scrapes with the odd person in that group.
Right.
He was too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I forget. I know who you're talking about, and I don't remember his name right now. But yeah, he was very problematic to deal with. But he had he had his own challenges. But then he was also a free range adult out in the world, interacting with other adults on social media, and you hadn't seen that thing quite before. What was that guy's
Right.
name? Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't I didn't get into nerdcore a lot. I
yeah.
Did you not? I thought I knew you from there. No?
Yeah, I may have popped in every once in a while, but I'm not a movies guy. I'm not especially a science fiction guy so much.
Yeah,
And
but you know the multiple versions of Batman. You know there's a Bill Finger Batman versus a Frank Miller Batman.
oh, that's see the problem there is I've never been a big superhero comics guy. I'm just a Batman fan.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still a superhero fan in my book anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, it was
It was
just
just Batman.
Batman. Batman was
Yeah.
the only one I was really interested in, to be honest. And
Yeah.
when my love for 1966 Batman kind of was diluted by the Tim Burton verse. Um, then I picked up the old Frank Miller's and went, okay, I got back into that. How just viscerally cool this was. Like when I was 2 years old, 3 years old, in '66.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, what a great character. And yeah, but you know, Superman bores me. Green Lantern, I get. I mean,
So you don't have an opinion about the gloves? I still say that Green Lantern has to have white gloves.
uh,
The
as
Margaret
I,
Dumont, the opera, they got up to the elbow,
opera,
white
opera
white
gloves.
silk. That's Green Lantern.
as a rule, um, whatever they were wearing when they were first resurrected from the old DC or I mean the pre
Graveyard.
DC comics or the 18 other comic companies that all folded in the mid '50s. Whatever they were wearing when they were reintroduced
Yeah.
out of the golden age, that's what they should wear.
Well, what age was it in the '70s when they were all terrible? And I was looking at my most superhero comics.
Those were the regurgitated from the early
Right.
60s.
Those
Those
were just
were
the
Yeah,
crummy
you were
years.
looking at the OG there.
Yeah.
Your nerd credentials are pretty solid, Sean. You're not
Oh,
just
really?
as far as I know. I mean, you know
Well,
that
yeah.
there's a Green Lantern with white gloves anyway. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. No,
you've spoken to me.
I read all those DC things in the '70s because I had access. Like, yeah, Grandma had some magazines in her mom in their mom and pop shop, and I would the copies that were going back with just the tops are sliced off with the razor blade. So there were all these. I never collected them because they were they had the covers cut off, but I read them all. But that was
Right,
a period in time from like '72 to '78, maybe.
right.
Mm. I was
That's
more
that's a
faithful
pretty
with
prime.
Mad
Yeah, because I
Magazine.
remember you chatting to me about the Justice League. You were interested
Yeah,
in a certain
yeah,
period of the Justice League.
right. So
Um,
that's about the extent of my literacy with all that stuff, or
okay, but there
my
were
heart,
I don't
my
know. Yeah.
yeah,
There was never a lack of opinions about,
yeah,
science fiction movies and stuff.
yeah. So you saw Superman this year? I take it the new.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember your reaction to it. It didn't seem too extreme one way or the other, but you didn't like it. Yeah,
I didn't really like it.
yeah,
Not so much. No. I mean, I know James Gunn is apparently a Vandalias fan, and we don't want to turn him off by any means, but
right.
I'm not part of it anyway. I wasn't that big a fan of that movie. No, it wasn't my thing.
Right. Well, but he found a new way to disappoint you with a new kind of a Superman movie with new disappointments. It seems like that's the takeaway. There's at least that,
Yeah,
right?
That was the advancement. Yes, that was something new that was added.
sorry,
Whoa,
guys. My
yeah.
hand fell asleep there.
Dan's flipping his device around. That'll happen. Did you see Superman, Dan?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't
Oh,
seen it yet.
okay.
I'm surprised to hear that. I didn't realize that you were disappointed with it, or maybe not disappointed, just didn't like it.
You know
Or
what? It held up better a second time I saw it. I have, I mean, I always have, Green Lantern should have white gloves, and
yeah,
I have really strong feelings about this stuff anyway. I mean, he seemed to keep getting beat up, which is not Superman like.
Yeah, I don't like that about it, and nobody, I don't think, and the stuff about the Jor-El and wanting him to go be fruitful, multiply, whatever it takes. That whole thing it was
Yeah,
kind of
that was
off-putting,
weird.
and
No,
it
no,
was just they deserved to blow back on that probably.
yeah, no spoilers for Dan. You should watch it,
No, but
Dan.
well, yeah. So that
yeah.
doesn't the story doesn't hinge on it, but it's a kind of a terrible detail of as far as talking about why you were what things that people are disappointed in about that movie. But I like his assumption that we're all conversant. We don't need the origin story. We can set the needle down in the middle of the song, and everybody knows who Superman is. And starting from that kind of starting point is for the first time, it seemed to free up the whole Enterprise to try some other things. But
Yeah,
and like how whatever that squid energy thing, monster in the sky that they're fighting in the background, and he's pouting in his room and putting his shoes on like that. Like he was like, oh, they've got it taking like it was like an incidental global threat of something. It was a routine disaster that the other heroes were seeing too. It would be all right without him. Like the
right.
world has these kinds of threats in it that's their business is taken care of. It was we
Yeah.
don't find out who that was or why that was there. It was sort of like just to add that dimension to the
Yeah, you gotta always think that if Mr. Terrific is the linchpin character in a movie, that it's not a very interesting Superman movie,
right.
perhaps.
You know, and I didn't know who that
He's the
was, or that
breakaway
polka
character.
dot man, whatever that is. Was that something in one of those other? That was from a Marvel thing, though.
Polka
These
Dot
These sort of
Man.
like
but
these like six C level characters, right? Is that what some of these things are?
I think that was Suicide Squad, I think.
yeah,
Suicide Squad was the polka dot guy. Yeah, right.
I think so, but
So
I can't think of the character's actual name. But
yeah, it wasn't polka dot man, but that's what it
I
was
don't think it was Polka Dot
referred
Man.
to by people grousing about it. Yeah.
I'll have to check my who's who in the DC universe,
But James
perhaps.
Gunn seems to enjoy whatever if he can like find something like that he can.
He does seem to scour the
His go-tos
vaults.
are yeah. He wants there's some surprise element of surprise with those choices, which is not bad.
Yeah, yeah, I'm all for that. Dan, what's your first awareness of anything comics oriented is Batman? It's just like, did someone buy you a Batman comic book, or was
no,
it
it
the
was a TV show. It was
it
a
was a
TV.
TV show? Yeah,
What was that? Summer '66.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So I was two. By the time I was four, it was right. It was
It
over.
was in syndication though, all through your younger
Yeah,
days.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's how I know it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but it was no, it was the original airings of those that that just broke my brain. I still my screensaver on my phone here is a great photo of West in the costume in the Batmobile from I believe it was a Life magazine spread
Okay.
from summer or that fall after it had really broken open. And I remember seeing these photos when I was a kid. Go, holy crap! Batman's in the magazine here. And for some reason, they desaturated these photos. It seems like that was just the way things printed anyway in those days. You never had rich, vibrant colors popping off the page,
Right.
but it was desaturated. So it took some of the purple out of that satin and it grayed it out and made it dark. And I remember as a kid going, that is what that's what I want to see Batman like right there. I mean, obviously I was wowed by the colors and the sound effects and the purple metal flake vinyl gowns that that the guest stars had available to wear. But yeah, this photo of Adam West, Batman's sitting in his car with his he doesn't have a goofy grin on his face. He's not in on the joke in this particular photo. It's just Batman in his car, and he's going to go out and he's going to make things right. And he's going to beat up some bullies.
Right.
And what little kid doesn't love that?
I mean, it sold me to this day. I think that's like, I mean, I know everybody's got their opinion, but that's Batman to me. You can't get more Batman than that to me. And
Yeah.
the idea that like Batman is in any way serious is just hilarious to me because, any dude that's going to dress up like a bat to attack people is just fucking hilarious. I mean,
And he's a detective, remember? There's a lot of book learning involved and a lot of
he's
studying up on stuff and
he's
a
the
lot of
world's
high
greatest
tech,
detective.
a lot of
Yeah.
high tech innovation and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and his coding skills were amazing. I mean, he was those. I mean, just the machines in the cave. That was a whole series right there. I could have watched that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean the villains, I mean the villains are great. It's like and I've watched them recently and they're enjoyable and really dull at the same time.
yeah,
They're just so wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Batcave came up in conversation the other day. We were watching Megan 2, the sequel to, was that what it's called? Megan, the robot, the girl robot.
Killer Robot Girl.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
this was the sequel that came out this fall, I think. Anyways, there's a long stretch of the movie with a bit like kind of club scene that looks just like the Batcave from the '66 Batman, or it looks a little like it, and also the production value seems about the same too, and
Wow.
kind of a spacey, goofy, cheesy area, but it's a nightclub and there's some fight scene in the night.
Holy shit. Oh, that's
Anyways,
amazing. Tell you both, you dudes, I mean, you're both super fucking talented, but you're both visual artists. Like, what, tell us, like, how you got, I mean, Sean, you've had like, I mean, you create this thing called the installer remover installer.
right.
I mean, that's pretty, I have one. It's pretty extraordinary. Like, what was your journey?
Well, we flogged it endlessly for a long time in campaigns and art things, and made collectible versions of them. This was one of the
Yeah, I was
original
gonna
ones.
go leave
I
and
pulled
go.
this out because I found on Amazon a couple weeks ago these new COS headphones
Okay.
that, look at this. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And compare, does it compare in any way to that?
Oh shit. They use
They're
money.
not the exact same thing, but they're just kind of oddly similar.
Holy shit, that's weird.
And then they're so shitty. They get these little orange pads like old Walkman headphones that they just fly right off your head if you turn your head at all, and they
Well,
don't
if you
sound
get
very great. And there's all
AirPods,
kinds of bleed. Everybody else hears what you're listening to, but I had to get them though because they looked so similar.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
that kind
Thanks.
of mechanical bio snail.
There's a swing line stapler in there somewhere a little bit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
a
love
little
those
bit,
things.
yeah, a little contact lens butt case with the screw off cap on, a little bit of that in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
did kids even know what a remover or an installer is
Yeah, it's just the
anymore?
idea that it was going to be not your first and not your last kind of remover installer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't seen an installer disc in so long that
Oh, right.
yeah, I don't think, you go to the App Store and you push the button, nobody installs anything anymore. We don't have the ritual of installing the latest AOL.
You just kind of submit to being assimilated to the new version of whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's, you don't have to sit and plug 7 mini discs into your
right.
machine, while you're watching Seinfeld.
Computers were a real pain in the ass for a long time, and now they're not anymore. They're kind of it's simplified completely,
Yeah.
seemingly.
Yeah. Yeah. They're too easy. It's all too easy.
Yeah.
We had to suffer and we loved it. We loved our suffering back then.
If we're talking about some things, the 2025, it was the first year that I had anybody that I was working for or with that was using AI to have a third voice at the end as part of there's the client and the designer, and now there's also the AI who's advising the client, and the client's kind of bringing me the input from ChatGPT about what we should do for a revision on the piece. But there were 3 or 4 projects this year where it factored into things in different ways. And yeah, it was it had the cool energy of like the client with the nephew that knows how to use Corel Draw, and he did some logo ideas Sunday night, and here they are. Can you do something with them? Because this is how we're going to go forward with this. I don't know. There's more to it than that's an oversimplification of things. It has all kinds of potential, but I was just for the first time sort of like trying to be like, okay, well, let's incorporate this input and actually go with it and go see where it takes us. And
Yeah, that's terrifying.
to be determined or whatever, but it was sort of surprised me the first time, and then not so much the second and third time. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
in one case, it's somebody who is a visual artist using it for that reason. In another case, it's somebody who has no visual arts, anything, but they're using it for another art director voice in the project.
What does the AI bring to that conversation?
Well, it's oddly specific.
I have no experience. I've never played with a ChatGPT.
Right.
I haven't either.
The whole thing, it seems kind of pointless.
Right. Well, like I say, in the one case, the client took what we were working on and scanned it in, and ChatGPT re-chopped it into a thing and redrew it a little bit and whatever, and it was real bad, but it was like, well, this is what I'm looking for, kind of thing. So it was a quick visualization of something that you could have described with words. The other case, it was like we had this piece of design we're working on. We're on many versions of it. We've worked our way through, and then integrating the ChatGPT recommendations of try a darker font on a lighter this and add fewer things of spots of this, and like getting into the layout, but also like the mood and what you're saying. It was like a kind of a still life of 3-dimensional objects, and like move it over and get it out of off the cover into the back cover or whatever. There was a lot of that. And I was like, we could try all this stuff without GPT. Just all you have to do is ask for this, but you're not seeing it until you ask this other set of eyes to look at it, I guess. And so that was odd, because it wasn't like it was all germane to what we were doing, and it actually was helpful in some cases and was a shortcut for getting where you wanted to go with it. And it worked out. You implement these changes, like, okay, that looks good. I was like, but I was like, well, I would have probably done the same thing, left my own devices in this case, or
yeah. It's my understanding, and as I've been reading about people's actual use of these tools, it's just telling you what somebody already knows,
right?
And what very many people may already know. Very many, experienced professionals such as yourself know this stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess I can see a client saying, well, I want to sound at least educated about these tools, and I want to sound knowledgeable. And
you want to make smart choices too. And this is a person that loves using ChatGPT for a lot of things in life.
Right.
It's like a lot of people do use it a lot. I don't use it hardly at all, but it was
I
part
do
of
know.
his whole
Yeah.
process of other things, so why not as this design project too? It was like, so
Yeah, I have friends who use it for all kinds of
right,
purposes.
right.
So I have yet to try it. Any sort of AI myself. Um, I have friends who show me like this is me with my grandchild, and it's a photo, but it's not a photo. It's an AI image based on a photo, and it barely looks like them, kind of. I mean, it sort of does look like them, and I'm like, I could have done that for you if you wanted,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it did it faster than I could ever do it.
Well,
So
the visual stuff aside, I'm really getting annoyed these days on Facebook posts that are AI generated texts that are verbose. They're 13 inches column depth. And you read this whole flowery thing about whatever it is. It could be on any subject, but it's just like way too detailed and emotive, and again, all the text is very flowery sometimes. Where it's like this is not written by a human. No humans posting Facebook posts that are this long and kind of like literary or whatever it's trying to be, and it's not reportage. It's not like conversational Facebook post. It's like some kind of formal piece of writing. So it's an AI generated thing,
wait, who's
and
posting this?
anybody. Just if you'll see posts on Facebook and something you're interested in, and you're looking at it, and there's a big chunk of text, you start reading it. At some point, you realize a person didn't write this, even if it's accurate or whatever it is, whatever
Right.
argument it's trying to make, or thing that you praising something you like. You're like, oh, that's right on. You're kind of along with it, but if
But
it's
you,
not
but
if there's no human enthusiasm in it, like why is it here?
when
Huh.
you don't detect. I see this. I come across this with videos a lot, where I watch a lot of science video, whatever science videos. You'll get 8 minutes into one of these 20-minute videos, and you realize that you've learned a lot of things over these 8 minutes. But then from there, it's all diminishing returns. It keeps regurgitating.
It's churning on the same info, kind of.
Yes, and it never develops. It never. There's no form to it. There's no argument to it. There's no flow to it. It's just give me
Many
20.
times the thumbnail too is the clickbait to get, you're like, well, I want to know what that is. I'm interested. And
Right.
you're like, well, I'm going to have to, there's going to be a run up, and they're going to set the table before
Yeah.
we get to the thing. And it
Right.
never arrives, kind of. You never get to the thing you wanted to see in the first place. You're
Right.
just
Right. Right.
waiting through all this yammering on and on. But
Yeah.
that's all I just like, is a person initiating that. Like, it seems like there's almost no even human instigation of it.
Well, that's that too. I mean, I assume many of these videos are being, they're being conceived and generated
There's
by
AI bots
machine.
in Facebook groups making Facebook posts and like
Yeah.
queries to the group. It's like, why is this here?
Yeah,
Who's it
why is it
benefiting?
there?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Who's this benefiting? Why aren't people in the group
Mhm.
making these posts? I mean, they
Back in my
are, but it's
day,
like, why are they being crowded out by this other redundant or whatever material?
yeah,
It's sort
Sure.
of
back in my day, we had real people posting annoying, incredibly obnoxious things that you had to react to
And
and
well,
verbose.
I
get into a
remember
fight
in the
about.
early days of the internet thinking like, oh, email and posting, whatever, like the internet, people that don't create or write or do any kind of creative line of work in their lives, except for cooking and having a family, email will force somebody to just sit down and write, express, articulate something about whether it's like what I did, what I thought, or whatever it was. I'm like, that'll be great for the world,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
everybody to express themselves in that way, like with pen and paper, kind of. And now with this AI, it's like it's the art and the paintings and the photography and like all the rest of it too.
Yeah,
Like
well,
the
that's
promise
creepy.
of automation was always, it'll free man to like retire and enjoy life and write poetry
Hmm.
and make songs and paintings, and when we finally get the tools for that, the first it doesn't relieve us of the toil. It just takes up all the
Yeah.
creative bandwidth and
Yeah,
replaces all the
Yeah.
painters and photographers and writers and authors and poets and whatever. Like, why
Oh,
should it be good at that? And why should that be its first job, first thing that it does? It is over like the creative side of life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, it's making me uneasy because things
Yeah.
in my business are I mean, things are very slow in the animation industry right now, and people keep asking me, is it because of AI? And it's like I'm not sure it completely is. That's not I don't think that's the thing that kind of sparked it off. But I do think studios are kind of waiting to see like where this goes and how they can use it so that they don't have to use artists.
Right.
Um, because we're problematic. I mean, like I said, it would take me a longer time to like draw a picture of my friend and his grandson than it would like chat GTP. So,
Hmm.
mhm.
um, I get it, you know. Um,
But theaters and everything, they're all not on the ropes, but definitely there's some kind of pause period that things are going through where people are reconsidering going to the theater at all, or if so, when, and what's there to even see, like the releases that the films that get theatrical releases versus the ones that go direct to streaming, that whole issue. And
yeah.
so,
I've been working on new recordings, and as a self-taught, um, stubbornly talentless musician, um, I'm in GarageBand, and I'm writing my parts, and I'm tweaking my sounds, and I'm coming up with this a song it's complex. It's relatively complex compared to the kind of stuff I'd been writing when I was younger. And as I'm adding little filigrees of piano, I'm wondering, is anyone going to believe that this? Is anyone going to suspect that this is AI generated? Um, and I realized no. That's one of the advantages of being just a really flawed creator, as far as execution is concerned, is you can't AI my weird ears and my weird fuck ups and my blind spots as a musician, or my blind spots as a lyricist. There are, you know the AI is built to become better and better and better and better, as though that is something desirable. the
Right.
the flaws, I mean, it's always been the case, but the flaws are what make us individuals as creators, right. It's our flaws that ultimately recommend our work to people, because somehow those flaws resonate with somebody else,
Yeah.
and it's alchemy, and it's not simple and straightforward. But I mean, a part of me is glad that um I'm going to be deeply flawed for the rest of my useful creative years. It's just the way I'm built. And no one's ever going to say, boy, that sure sounds like AI. Because AI is, it's, it's intelligence based, and I'm not. I'm feelings based, and AI wants to get, it's only going to get better and better and better, whatever the hell that is.
but you're also right to ask yourself if something sounds good, just like, is this going to be perceived as real or fake? Like,
Right, right, right. I'm doing all this work and thinking,
yeah,
people
yeah.
are
You don't want it to be misconstrued
right,
or assume that it's because it's the way that it's not real or whatever. Like, that shouldn't be a consideration, but now it's foist on you. Or
right, 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 right.
Yeah.
And I'm already thinking, well, right away in the description of the first video, it's going to have the big no AI. It's going to have to be in the thumbnail or something.
disclaimer.
Yeah, yeah. Because um,
I mean, I definitely will put that in the YouTube's notes that none of this is
none
AI.
of this is AI.
generated.
No.
Well, the Queen famously always had on their album, at the end of their credits on their albums, no synthesizers were used until they didn't anymore, and they started using synthesizers, and they stopped caring about that claim.
Okay, so that first Vandalias album includes a line, "No keyboards were used in the creation of this album." I mean, it just
Give them
synthesizers. I
hell.
don't want keyboards. This is just guitars.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
The Vandalias lives, right? It's on
It's on
the
Spotify, right?
services.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can find that second album on Spotify.
Just the second album?
Just the second album.
Why not the first album?
It costs money, Steven.
What do you
And
need?
I'm not made of money.
What do you need? I got I'm gonna
63 freaking dollars it takes. No.
listen. I'm gonna get an envelope after this. Get some. I'm gonna open up the change purse.
Stuff it with all your primal cash. Throw an Emmy in there too, and I can hawk that.
Open up a stream.
Hey man, I'm
in that stream.
I might need to. I might need to hawk my own Emmys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well,
That's what they're for.
Those aren't solid gold, right?
No, I don't know what the fuck they are, but they ain't gold. Yeah, but anybody that wants to listen to the Vandalias,
it's on Spotify,
you should just go
and
listen.
of course on the YouTubes you can find a lot of our first album and the couple of singles and compilation appearances and that kind of thing too. So
Right.
All killer, no filler.
Yep.
And the anthology, the Vandalias anthology is coming up soon, I think, right?
Well, we already that album is also out there. The greatest hits on the Spanish label Discmedi.
Damn.
Yeah, we did 2 albums and then a greatest hits, just like that. I mean,
That's right. I think of that as
we
being a Japanese release, but it was a Spanish label.
That was a Spanish label.
Yeah.
It came out about the same time as the Japanese releases of the big
did it
deal
get distributed in Japan though?
I don't know.
I
don't know if that was just a Europe thing or what. I'm sure people sought it out in Japan.
Wait, Sean, you did the cover for the second album?
Yeah, we worked on it together, but and it was kind of an extravagant package, it was some of the world building was going on by then. We were talking about the show and the thing and the world of it and all that, so trying to take it a little further. So
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's I don't know. Isn't it cool when something that you did a long time ago still makes people kind of remember it and perk up their ears or like look at. I mean, in my case, I'm horribly embarrassed by a lot of what people are seeing from the 90s that I did. But it's cool.
I'm still upset about Black Canary.
Oh, get over that. Just, do we have to? We didn't have to go there. You didn't have to bring that up. I did nothing to that. Whatever. I didn't do anything to Black Canary. It didn't take anyway.
It didn't take.
And nobody talks
Neither did
about
the Holocaust, but somebody's on the hook for it.
Nobody talks about what I did to Elongated Man. How about that? That was
I don't know that story.
Oh yeah.
Did you put him in a one of those mock or those big shawl? What do they call those big?
No, there were no shoulder pads involved. He has his own shoulders. No, I put him back in his traditional purple costume. I just added some G-Jaws to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Those were the days. I used to have DC's ear back then. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Life intervened.
Yeah.
Somehow.
This is the one bit of. I mean, I said, I was never a comic book guy so much, never a superhero guy. I was a Batman guy. But, 84, 85, 86, when I was in college, there was a period there where if I wasn't, oh yeah, that's right. I was buying the Gene Colan Batmans. I forget if they were detectives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you've
Yeah,
told me about this.
yeah. I just love Gene Colan's art.
Yeah.
The guy got volume,
Yeah.
and he'd draw the cowl in the face in ways that were so dimensional and so solid looking. I just really loved his stuff.
Right.
But then I'd also, and I'd pick up Batman and the Outsiders. Was Canary an outsider, or was she a?
Oh no. No. She never made it to the Outsiders. She was an outsider material, Dan. Sorry to
That's
tell
right.
you.
She's human, more or less, right? Yeah.
She well, she has superpowers. She screams really
She
loud.
screams. Yeah. Well,
But the cocktail waitress outfit is like a whole other.
Well, that's traditional, of course, though. That's why Dan likes it so much. That's why
yeah.
he's so upset that I gave her a new outfit because that's her traditional costume. She's been wearing that since like 46 or
Right.
something.
With the big floppy cowl neck. I mean, sure, it's sexy, but just as a practical matter, what does she use that to wipe her nose? Does she
Yeah,
sleep in that
sometimes
thing?
your nose gets wet. Sometimes your nose gets bloody in a fight. Now listen, we're talking about practical outfits. Batman jumping around in a cape is ridiculous. You can't get into a fight and wear a cape at the same time.
I want to see someone pull the cape over his head and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
just
it was Brian Bolland years ago who did this really quick story about someone who just grabs his cowl and kind of pulls it down over his nose,
yeah,
and then busts a cap in his head. And it
yeah,
was a short story. It didn't it didn't go very far, but I didn't like that so much. I like my superheroes absurd. I like them. I like them.
yeah.
If they need a cape, they need a cape. If they need like a big floppy cowl neck
It
and a headband,
was a tactical cowl neck and hat band, right?
sometimes you just got to look. If you're gonna feel good about yourself, you need to look nice.
Right, right, right. Yeah, if you're gonna put yourself out there
Yeah, and
What about
at
if you
night,
oh,
got if you got a supersonic scream, I mean, you could wear a cowl neck. Nobody's gonna
yeah.
stop you.
Okay, all right, all right.
I
Okay,
can't
you
defend
sold
it
me.
too hard.
But the point is, there was about a year there where I was paying attention to comics,
Okay.
and as I'm searching for my Batmans in the spinny rack at the liquor store, I'm I'm seeing all these other covers for comics I'm not going to buy. And I remember looking at Black Canary and going, "Wow, that's honestly, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to open myself up here.
Go ahead. We're
I
ready.
thought it was kind of sexy
Which?
because
What?
I mean, this was 84, 85. Cowl necks on women were sexy when I was in
Oh,
college, um, and I thought it looked all right. And then years and years and years later, maybe on Nerdcore, somewhere on Facebook, somebody was giving you hell about your your Black Canary reboot from about the same time.
well, it might have
And
been
it's
me.
and I only bring it up because it's like my only point of contact with your early work. And I have to give you shit about it because everyone else was giving you shit about it when I found out that was you. But beyond that, you know, I my entire interaction with you in my life has been in the mid '80s. Black Canary, yeah, she's kind of cute. Turns out she wasn't. She was wrong, 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 and you ruined her. I found out later.
It didn't. I'm telling you, it didn't last. It didn't take. It's okay. I mean, I remember very consciously thinking, like, that if anybody's going to do this, let it just be me.
Yeah,
Because she doesn't need a new uniform,
right.
but I might as well just like I was coming up with a lot of costumes back then. Turns
Yeah,
out I was even back then, I was a frustrated character designer, and I came up with a new uniform for her, and I didn't think it would last. And the same guy that had busted a cap in Batman's head, he actually burned that uniform on a cover. Brian Bolland drew Black Canary burning that costume. at some
Wow.
point. So, and I didn't take it personally because I'm a pro. I'm a professional, gentlemen.
Wait a minute. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
I've
No,
been
yeah,
told, at least.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
anyway. Well, this has been fun.
this has been all right.
No,
So,
no, it's been fun.
yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's fun, but good or bad? Fun and bad.
All the same. There's no such thing. There's no need to judge it. It's all a thing.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. What's everybody working on now? Music?
Well, I'm just starting work on a book of a collection of like show posters and flyers of the Seattle club scene in the 90s.
Holy shit.
That's being coordinated by the people that were behind Tasty Shows at the time. So they're all Tasty Shows productions, and
Nice.
there's quite a lot of material from like the early 90s up until the early 2000s, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a beast of a book to wrestle to the ground, many pieces of it, and to wrangle and go through, and it's fun so far. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
you know
amazing.
what? It's just sprung to mind. I had forgotten about this. Remember when um, not super. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, guys. My nouns and names just disappear. Um, Supergrass, the Supergrass box that came out a few years ago.
Right.
Um, it just you reminded me of that and how lovely it was to see the ads for the uh, the Supergrass posters and
Yeah, there was
whatnot all
like an
spread out
array
as
of
part of the
things. There
box
were
set.
three or four nice posters in there, like miniature reproductions, and
Yeah,
one of them was one that I did when they played in
one
Seattle.
one was yours and one was
Yeah.
Greg Reinell's.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
One was
and that
Greg
was
Reinell, and one was one that I had done like back in
yeah,
2001 or 2002. And
yeah.
yeah, I was chuffed to see that. That was really great
That
to
was
be in
such to see you guys together in that context.
that. Yeah.
Um,
Well, unbeknownst to each other that was going to
yeah, yeah,
play
yeah,
be the way it was. That's just it was one of those things. That's funny.
yeah. And I felt like I had good eyes for the team. Putting the team together.
Yeah, Super Grass box set. Check it out.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't get that in my mail yet.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it was at least 3 years ago, something like that.
yeah. It's it's been, it's
Maybe it's
been a
still on
little
its
while.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Check your PO box.
I didn't get a copy of the Vandalias comic book either.
Mm.
God,
Even
one.
though I made the trip to Mecca. I went to visit Dan, and there was no comic book
Right.
handed to me.
He's hoarding them, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoarding. I
Yeah.
think all the ones I have now are actually Greg has signed. Um,
Ooh,
I gotta.
signed comics.
Yeah, I just. Oh, hey, which kitty is that? Which kitty just jumped
What
off your
happened?
couch there?
Oh, that's Lila. That's
Oh,
Lila
that's
the
Lila.
Cat.
Okay,
She's made appearances on this program before, actually. She's an integral part
good.
of the process.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Floor
Mia
manager, kind
Mia
of.
the cat is behind the scenes. She's a production person, but
Yeah,
Lila's on air talent a couple times
good,
so far.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What am I working on? I'm not working on anything.
Well, you said you were working on music,
I'm working on music, but
so you're lying.
okay, I'm working. Yeah, but I've been working on my album for 30 years now.
I've been working on my graphic novel for at least 20. So we're even. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Talk to me about your process.
Well, let me tell you.
The worst sentence in the world.
Is Lucky? Is that a three-part
No,
uh
no, no. It's no. What are
conceived?
you trying to do? Kill me? No.
It's a quadrilogy, right?
Yeah, quite a tetralogy. Um,
It's a two-parter. I don't
oh, it
know
is a two.
why.
I thought at one point you had kind of sketched out you know, a, that it was a three book, but I just made that up. I just
No,
made
you're
up.
just making now you're making thing now you're making stuff up.
See
No.
now, what I did when I designed the cover for the Vandalias, a single issue of the Vandalias comic that we released. I wrote book one of three at the bottom as a way of prompting myself to actually deliver two more books. And I found that didn't work.
It
You know,
hasn't worked yet. I
no,
mean,
But
we're
also
not.
just that word part one, and then at the end it's a cliffhanger, I believe,
it's a
or
little
there's
bit of a cliffhanger. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, that's a pretty good cliffhanger if people have to wait a decade or two to get
never
yeah,
forever.
yeah.
Yeah, never. It's just for
I'm
the
telling
drama
you,
of the cliffhanger without the deliver the
when I have an assignment, I'm on the money. I could get that done.
Uh-huh.
Sean and I will get it done.
you could
Um,
if you wanted to, is what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, James Gunn, if you're watching, and I'm pretty sure, of course he is, don't worry. Issue number two of the Vandalia's comic book is coming. It's a
Yeah.
thing. It's definitely a thing. And maybe I'll get issue number one if I draw issue number two.
Well, Supergirl's in the works, right? That's or is that already shot and done, or what's the deal with
Oh, geez, I
Supergirl?
don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. He'll probably comment on this video, I'm assuming.
So
If not,
speak.
if he doesn't get in touch directly with you both.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of your Patreon supporters, isn't he?
I'll have to look. I have so many. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Dan. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go through them. Um, Christmas is coming. That's exciting, right?
It is. It is.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Uh,
Yeah. Are you getting more dolls? Are you buying yourself some more dolls for Christmas?
I can't afford dolls. I can't afford any more dolls. I got enough dolls. Everybody comments on my dolls. Gandhi Tartakovsky's like razzing me. I got dolls. I like dolls. What the
Gendy
fuck?
isn't a doll guy?
Huh?
Gendy isn't a doll
He
guy?
said he hasn't been since he was like 10 or something.
Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah. Bird.
Yeah. I mean, I felt burned. No, no, no. The last doll baby I got myself was a Conan the Barbarian in the style of Frank Frazetta. I had to have that. But otherwise I can't afford no doll babies.
Mm.
All right. Okay.
Sean, do you buy toys?
I don't really.
Yeah.
I have, but not as like a collector. Just was something that was irresistible, and I got it once now and then. But
Yeah.
we got
Oh, I
some of
know.
those little. We got some of
Uh,
your little Popeye reissues from this year. The little. Uh, you worked on those, right? Those little posable, articulated. It's like the extended cast of Popeye characters. You know what I'm talking
it
about?
is, yeah. I only drew the packaging artwork.
Really?
It's a cool outfit called Boss Fight that actually spearheaded those by themselves.
Those are nicely done, and but then they're very diminutive in size as far as the.
No, they're actually a pretty good
He's like
size.
yeah, he's yay big. He's not quite 5 inches tall, right? Something like
About
that.
like that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But it's not
Yeah,
the size. It's
Guys,
yeah.
they're
No, it's got
dolls.
huh?
Guys.
Yeah.
They're
Dan is in the
dolls.
room. I forgot. There's some poses, boy. I tell you what. Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. No, I'm not. No, wait till you see what you guys get for Christmas
Oh, great.
from me.
I wanted to ask you because we're talking about 2025. That I know you saw the Billy Joel documentary.
Oh, I didn't
You
personally,
did
no.
not see the Billy Joel documentary?
I didn't. I don't know if I still have access to HBO.
Oh, really? And the
Yeah,
Devo documentary from that came out more recently on Netflix. Did you see that
I
one?
didn't see that. I don't have Netflix, actually, no.
So you have no hot takes.
No, no hot takes. And did you see this
Damn.
stuff?
What about the Billy Joel documentary is 4.8. I looked this up this morning because I want to refresh my memory. Almost 5 hours. The Devo is only 90 minutes.
Oh, I remember you telling me this. You were very
Yeah,
upset by
it
it.
seems
Yeah.
seems a little uneven-handed, but
No, that seems appropriate to me.
Devo's in the
Sean,
Museum of Modern Art now. You realize, right?
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
when
So
when
there's
when
more
when
there than 90 minutes, is all I'm saying. Billy Joel, yeah, 5 hours, sure, but let's have 5 hours for Devo too, maybe.
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
when
I am
when
a,
when, when Stephen came to Minneapolis, we took him to Nye's
right.
bar. The late great Nye's, it's gone.
It's gone. Fuck.
Yeah, it disappeared a few years ago. It
Yeah,
was
that's a bummer. Yeah,
um,
what? I knew there was a Billy Joel story connected to my trip.
yeah, yeah, and we're at the piano bar, and we were all singing. Um, it wasn't only a woman. It was something. It was something more fun than that. It wasn't. You may be right.
Pressure.
Yeah, and
Sure. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
what was that tune we were all singing? I was even singing along, and I never did like that song, but I had such a great time singing it. And my
Uptown
wife
Girl.
was singing along. She doesn't sing along,
Mm.
but you had us all singing along with your homie Billy Joel there, and
Listen,
that's a very fond memory of mine.
I don't remember twisting anyone's arm.
What was it, Stephen? Was Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, perhaps?
Maybe that I
Yeah,
would sing
that's
along
a
with
favorite.
that.
That's a
Oh
favorite
yeah,
of.
yeah, mate. Uh, bottle red, bottle white, and
That's it.
that's is that the one that start? Okay, all right.
Perhaps a
Maybe.
bottle of rosé instead.
To be honest, I kind of I lost that memory. That memory kind of went out the window a while ago, but
Well, you were drinking Polish cocktails.
it might have been that. It might
Yeah,
have been the vodka. I don't
yeah.
know. You know, I'm ashamed enough of my Beatle worship to that the world, the outer world knows that I was a Billy Joel freak
Was
is
that a secret?
not
Was that a secret?
anymore. It need not
There's
be a
nothing.
secret.
There's no. That's the thing. There's no guilty pleasures. There's no shame in these. Yeah.
I have nothing. I have no regrets.
Right.
Well,
Well, good.
Sean and I bonded fairly early over that Stranger album, if I remember right. That
Is that
was
so?
yeah, I think
Oh,
it was one of the few albums I bought when I was a kid before my pre-New Wave purchases, and yeah, I really love that record.
Yeah.
I had strong feelings about Billy Joel because I thought that album, the mood and the instrumentation and everything else is this is a direction I want to hear what this guy does with this. It's very New York based, almost a Steely Dan kind of
yeah. Back then, yeah,
mythology,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um,
And then it all kind of, dovetailed into We Didn't Start the Fire. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
yeah.
was always had huge respect for him, but I was disappointed with some of his choices.
Yeah, well, that's life.
Well, and then at one point he just ceased. He stopped making music. He just
Right.
decided he didn't have any more music to make. To hear
Well,
him
wasn't
describe it,
wasn't he wasn't he essentially just he wasn't making a penny off of it anymore, and
that may have played
yeah,
into it. So, yeah.
because he got screwed so bad there.
Do
Um,
you know the story of that song that he did last year that turned the lights back on or whatever it was called?
No.
no, no, no.
He was involved in the writing of it, but it was some, I forget who it was. It was like a driver or an assistant or some neighbor, some young guy, younger than him, like somebody, a grown man, and was a songwriter, and was not nagging him to get to write a song, but encouraging him. And at some point, he's like, "Well, why don't you do it? Or if you think that's such a great idea, get the ball rolling, and we'll see what happens with it." So I don't know who this guy is, but he basically wrote the song, and Billy Joel maybe did something with it as far as
He
co-writing it
changed
with
a
it.
chord or two.
And
He changed a chord or two.
yeah, he had to. But it was good. But it definitely was like sounds like somebody writing this sort of gestalty version of
for Billy
your whole
Joel.
memory of Billy Joel from those peak early years in a
Right.
new song. All of a sudden, it's had a bit of now and then kind of
Oh,
yeah, like it's so it's perfectly preserved somehow, even though you've never heard it before. It's this new thing, but it's like very familiar
I
sounding. You know,
see. I
it's like
like
a
that.
yeah, it's like a
you should
port.
have.
It's like somebody a musical portrait of him by somebody else, and then he's singing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Like if you guys want to finish Lucky in Love, I'll just take on the next.
I'll send you my session here, and you can finish my album.
Okay. Well, I was gonna finish the Vandalias
Oh,
I
second
will ask
issue.
Chat GPT what it thinks about, what should be done going forward, and we'll go from there.
I think that's smart. I think that's wise. I'm down for that. Well, it's getting to that time, boys, where I have to go to the bathroom.
I kind of sense that you've got to
No, it's
tell.
not. It's not terrible. You might see in some of these videos where I'll start really getting well, you don't see it unless I talk, but I'll get really, really antsy. I'll start moving around a lot,
Yeah,
and then I'll panic and I'll just blurt it out that I have to go. But I'm getting to that point
my favorite part is when you go. I gotta go.
that's a good part. I will admit.
Yeah, no, that's I hope that never happens. But
Uh,
knock on wood. What are you 52 years old now?
Plus,
Yeah,
I turn 60 next year, fellas.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that? How about
Wow.
them apples?
That's upsetting.
Oh, don't be upset.
My all
It'll all
my
be okay.
all my little kid friends are growing up.
Yeah, the young people are getting old when that's what starts happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know what that's about. It's messing with my
It's a
mind.
thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. Somebody must be making a profit off of it or something because it just keeps going. Well, I mean, I'm gonna stop the recording now, and then, but I'll post whatever links anybody watching this, if you're still watching, you should find Dan and Sean and maybe friend them on Facebook, but probably not. They probably won't friend you back, but they're entertaining. Or maybe I'll just give you their phone numbers. You could text
Phone
them
numbers.
endlessly, as I have for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
It must be like the world's longest, maybe not, maybe the world's longest text conversation. I don't know if it's the
Yeah,
world's, but
yeah. It's
yeah.
it's a new
Yeah.
th it's a new thing after 10 years. It's a new thing to have a thing
Yeah,
like
but if it goes back to you boys emailing, it's like, what are we talking, 30 years or something?
right.
Yeah. Holy
I'm
God.
96,
I'm
probably 96, something like that.
I'm a
Yeah.
newbie. Wow, that's a long time. I'm a newbie to this
Hmm.
conversation. I'm just a recent entry. So, but it's been a pleasure and an honor chatting with you guys for all this
It's
time.
great visiting with you lads.
Yeah,
It's been a it's been a passable distraction for me.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys.
that was the plan all along. Let's distract Dan from
You know what?
out.
Here's the story about that. The the lowdown around here about that. Um, I'll be Carolyn and I'll be sitting in the living room of an evening reading or looking at vidges and whatnot, and every once in a while she'll look up and she'll say, "You're talking to the boys." And I'll say, "What are you talking about?" She says, "You got that grin on your face. You're talking to Sean and Fern and
Yeah,
or Finn.
depending
Um,
on the hour. Yeah.
yeah, and she can tell when I'm in my happy place, which is cracking wise with you fellers, and um,
Yeah, you boys always make me laugh. There was a point last year where I had some gummy substance in my coursing through my veins.
Yeah.
And it kicked in, and you were never more hilarious. I gotta
Yeah.
say, I was in fits of giggling. Um, and then I think I started weeping. I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it wasn't it that the weeping didn't have anything with you boys. But the giggling definitely, it was definitely something I needed. And I was listening to the White Album at the time, so that it all helped me. So if I have a difficult moment in my life,
Yeah. Was that
yeah,
right? Yeah. Was that right when you came back from your vacation?
yeah,
Yeah. Good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I generally am, as I've been told many times, nobody likes me when I'm sober, much less when they're sober.
That gives me something to think about.
uh, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm glad it's still funny when you're high. That's a threshold.
Yeah. And like Sean said, there's always something educational to what we say to each other because we're funny seemingly, and then we make each other think too, which is important.
Yeah,
There's
no,
a,
no, it's
there's always a little lesson learned.
yeah, it's like you two are always sitting on my shoulder, walking around in the world, and I'm always thinking, how am I gonna pitch this story to the guys, you know, so that
Yeah.
it's funny and touching and heartwarming and instructive, and I work hard at my content. Let's put it that
No,
way.
I could feel that. With Sean, it
I,
feels effortless.
well, I will tell you guys today there was a long extended flute solo across the street this morning, and the whole neighborhood was being treated to flute practice or whatever it was. But you've heard me report about that many times. But the summer's long over now, and the doors are closed, and it's still wafting across up and down the street and through the
What
double pane.
do you
What?
still hear the marimba? I haven't heard
Yeah,
about the
no, no,
marimba.
yeah, no, that stopped being a thing, and maybe he got rid of it. But now it's about the flute, and that's fine. So,
You can only take the marimba so far, but a flute is eternal.
right,
Yeah,
it's more Tolkien-esque, and the marimba was a little bit, yeah, a little
well, a
too
little sexy. I
tropical.
mean, marimbas are always sexy, and I can see that being a little upsetting at 8:30 in
Right,
the morning.
but it intrudes on your other thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need that at 8:30 sexiness on a weekday. No,
But I
fuck
was
it.
worried the flute practice was going to impede and get leak into our conversation, but it wrapped up right there at
No, you boys didn't hear like the car horn battle going on
no,
outside my
no.
window? Oh,
I
that's
didn't, I
good.
didn't hear that. No.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of New York color that I thought might make it into our recording. Uh, but I guess it didn't. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna stop the recording. We don't maybe I'll just pee my pants or something, but because it's nice talking with you guys. But I'm gonna stop the recording
All
now.
right.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go
Okay.
do some stuff.
Let's do it
Okay.
again one of these days.
Yep.
Okay. Hold
Yeah.
on. Here we go.
Good
Okay.
luck, Mr. Editor.
Oh, no, that's not a thing. Okay, hold on, hold on. Wait. Wait, hold on. Here we go. Okay, stop.